Welcome back to the fifth and final part of the Black Bull of Norroway. And I thought, since it's the fifth and final part, I would show you my special storytelling hat that I have. I haven't worn it until now, but I thought I would save it till now to show it to you, okay, before I tell the story. So it's just a regular hat, but you can see these look like horns, right? They're not horns. I'll tell you what that is in a moment. And look at those really amazing goggles on the front. Okay, these goggles, you can take them off and wear them. They're pretty awesome. These goggles and these what look like horns, they're not. They're antlers. Okay, if you don't know what antlers are, they are those things that grow on a deer's head. And the deer grows antlers every year, and they use them for various things. But after a while, each year the antlers fall off. They just fall onto the ground. And that's where we found these antlers just lying on the ground. And we cut through the antler to make the goggles, or the person who made it cut through the antlers to make the goggles. And these were the tips of the antlers here. So the deer wasn't harmed to make this hat. The antlers were just found. But it is such a cool hat. Can you see that? That's awesome, right? What a hat! Incredible. So I'm going to wear this hat as I tell you the final part of the Black Bull of Norroway. So where did we get up to yesterday? The prince, he'd put the wedding off for 2 days, and or the one he was going to marry, the bride he was going to marry, had put the wedding off for 2 days because the princess had given the mother the jewels from the apple and the pear. And on the third day, the prince was going hunting. So princes love to go hunting. They're always on their horses, hunting around, hunting here, hunting there, shooting things with bows and arrows, hunting. And that's what he was doing that day. And meanwhile, the princess, she of course opened the plum. Out came jewels. And she convinced the washerwoman to postpone the wedding for another day. So the wedding wouldn't take place for another whole day. And the princess knew this was her last chance because she'd used the apple, the pear, the plum. She used everything. That was her last chance to convince this lady to postpone the wedding. And she didn't know what to do, but she just thought something might come up that will help her. So that day the prince was off hunting with his friends, riding around on his horse, hunting around. And one of his closest friends said, "Sire," because that's how they always call princes in fairy tales, right? "Sire." And the prince was like, "Yes." "Every night you have a singer." "Yes, I know. But the last 2 nights, your singer had such a lovely voice. Everybody in the castle could hear her." "Really? I didn't hear anything. I was completely asleep." "Yes, that's what we don't understand. You must have woken by the sound of her beautiful voice and the unusual song that she was singing." "Really? Unusual song? Tell me of the song." "Well, the lyrics were, the words of the song: 7 long years I waited for you. The glass hill I climbed for you. The torn and bloodied shirt I washed for you. Wake up, come to me." And the prince, he stopped on his horse. 7 years? Could it be? And in his mind, he started to imagine who the person could be who had waited for 7 years. Climbed the glass hill, washed the one who could actually wash the shirt. And his mind started to take over, and he started to come to a conclusion about who that might be. So that night, as he went to bed, he was handed his cocoa. And something in his mind made him think, you know, I've been sleeping very, very deeply every night, and I've been drinking this cocoa. I wonder, you know what? Tonight I won't drink the cocoa. And he put it down beside his bed, and he fell asleep. But not such a deep sleep, because there was no sleeping potion. He hadn't been drinking the sleeping potion. He was just lightly asleep. In came the princess, and she started to sing. 7 long years I waited for you. The glass hill I climbed for you. The shirt I washed. Wake up. Boop! His eyes opened up and he saw the princess there. It is you. And his heart was filled with joy at seeing her again after all this time. Now there was a problem. The prince, he said, I'm so happy to see you, but I've agreed to marry another lady. She washed my shirt for me. And the princess was able to say, no, it was I who came down. I only had to lift the shirt into my hands and throw it loosely into the water and rub it around gently. The stains flowed away. The shirt magically repaired itself. It was as if new. You mean these people have deceived me? That means lied to him. Yes, I'm afraid so, Prince. At this point, the prince was a mix of emotions. He was very, very angry that he'd been tricked. But he was very happy as well that he'd seen and found his lovely princess again. What do you think happened next? I mean, he was angry with the washerwoman and the princess. Did he punish them? What would you do in that situation? Because he's got the princess there. He's got the thing that he wanted. And of course, that prince, he was a kind and gentle prince. So, although he was angry with the washerwoman and the daughter for tricking him, he didn't punish them. Okay? He just let them live out their lives. And actually, although they were disappointed, what did they have? They had the jewels from the plum, the pear, the apple. They lived very comfortably for the rest of their lives as well. They didn't have anything to worry about. But the prince and the princess, they of course were married. And they lived happily ever after. And that's the story of the Black Bull of Norroway. And I really hope you enjoyed it, kids. That's the end of the story for this week. Next week it's a holiday. There won't be any story, but I'm sure you've got lots of books at home you can read. And after the school holiday, who knows, probably you'll still be learning at home. Okay, nobody really knows what's going to happen in the future, but I think probably it will continue a bit longer, okay? And maybe another teacher will tell a story, and it'll come my turn again to tell you a story. I really hope so. I've enjoyed telling you the story this week, and I'm going to say goodbye to you now, okay? Bye-bye, everybody.